The Roman Empire stretched across a huge portion of Western, Central, and Southern Europe, and it was aware of, and even traded goods with, places as far away as China. However, one region whose connection with Rome isn't very well documented is Scandinavia. So what kind of relationship did they have? Did Rome know anything about Scandinavia? The Vikings who lived there? And what did each side think of the other? First off, the Vikings themselves didn't actually exist during the height of the Roman Empire. More on them later, but let's ask the question. Did Rome know anything about any part of Scandinavia? Yes, a bit. Rome wasn't exactly known for being satisfied with what it had, and it didn't take long before Emperor Augustus tried to push the empire's borders toward what we now call Denmark. Around 5 AD, the Roman navy began sailing up the coastline, trying to build alliances ahead of an expected expansion. However, real alliances take time to build, and in the end, Rome never managed to move further north. One big reason for this failure was that Augustus lost several legions at the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, leaving him without enough troops to continue the campaign. Because of that, the Romans pulled back, and Scandinavia was basically left to develop on its own. Over the following centuries, power in the region began to concentrate around a place called Himlingoya. Apologies to any Danes for the pronunciation. This area became a major trade partner with Rome. From there, Rome received a steady supply of goods: leather, textiles, feathers, and of course, as was sadly common in ancient trade, slaves. So what about the rest of Scandinavia? Rome knew something was up there. But as far as they were concerned, Scandinavia was just an island, mostly because they didn't know about the northernmost parts. However, there were two things the Romans definitely knew for sure. One, it was extremely cold, even colder than Britain. And two, because of that, they really had no interest in going there. In the centuries that followed, Rome's northern border along the Rhine stayed pretty much the same, so the relationship remained focused on trade. But that changed after the fall of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century. Even though Constantinople, the new capital, was far from Scandinavia, during the medieval period, the Scandinavians decided to travel. These were the Vikings, and they went everywhere across Europe. Some of them even reached Constantinople. Once there, many of them ended up joining the emperor's personal bodyguard, the Varangians, where they made names for themselves and made a fortune. Trade between Constantinople and Scandinavia, after that, was mostly centered on Sweden. The Byzantines received furs and amber, and in return, Sweden got wine, spices, and jewelry. Denmark and Norway? They basically got nothing out of it, since their focus was turned westward. That said, they weren't completely cut off from Constantinople either. After England fell to the Normans, a number of Danes and Anglo-Saxons fled and ended up at the court of the Byzantine emperor, where they also joined the army. However, the Byzantines didn't see much difference between them. People from Northern Europe were usually just referred to as coming from Thule, a term that basically meant really far away. This shows that, even though Rome had known about Scandinavia for over 1,000 years, it never really had much of a desire to truly understand it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Huge thanks for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment, and share it with someone who'd enjoy it too.